part of the journey, and everybody goes through this. And I didn't do anything different, or I wasn't too stressed. I knew, I mean, obviously as a player you're disappointed, and I've been sitting on the bench for a while, and the last time I played was 3.5 months ago. So I was really excited and looking forward to doing well in the T20 series as well. And every cricketer, every player in the team wants to do that, and sometimes it doesn't happen, and you accept it. And for me, the most important thing was, if when I sat back and I tried to look back at things, I asked myself if I'd prepared well, if I was training hard, if there was anything that I did not do in terms of preparation. And when I thought about it, I did everything right. So after that, if I don't score runs, it's fine. I mean, I can accept that. And again, having said that, doesn't mean that you don't feel disappointed. You do feel disappointed because you're representing your country, or and you're playing at this level. You want to keep performing and keep winning games for your team, but you also have to accept that it's not always going to go your way. You need to be patient at times. I've been doing well and scoring runs and contributing in whatever roles and responsibilities that have been thrown at me for the last 2.5 years, and I've always put the team ahead, and I've always performed. So when things were going right, I didn't question my process, or didn't question my passion, or my commitment towards the game, or how I was preparing. So I didn't want to sit back and overthink about 3 or 4 bad performances. And I knew why. Like I said, you need to accept it sometimes. And I was doing most things right, whatever was in my control, that is preparing well and being in a good mindset. And yeah, even after that, if you don't score runs, you accept it and move on.
Rupin Kale, and then Vishesh Roy.
Hi, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. On the same question, the T20 Is you struggled, and then in the ODI in the first game itself, you played an excellent knock. So, do you think sometimes it helps to have a new series where you can just start with a clean slate? Basically, it gives you like a Monday feeling, let's say. And do you think it's easier to start do well in a new series compared to a low patch that you are going through in the middle of a series?
Um, I don't know what helps, if the format makes a difference or not. You obviously carry your confidence, or your bad performances into your next game. So that's the hardest thing, for a player to forget what has happened a couple of games or a couple of days ago, and then try and start fresh. It's always challenging. But like I said, I think the one day format, playing at number 5, just gave, I could take a little bit more time than I did maybe in T20s. Also in T20s, I wanted to give myself time, but like I said, it wasn't going my way. So having spent a little time in the middle, having hit a couple of good shots from the middle of the bat, footwork going well, your nerves tend to calm down a little bit more. And then when I walked in, obviously, Shikhar was batting well, and we lost Shikhar early. We lost a couple of wickets when I walked in as well, and then Hardik got out. So I knew when Krunal walked in that, me having played a little bit more cricket than Krunal, I realized that we'll have to stitch a partnership together, which was very important for the team. So in a way, when you stop thinking about your own personal game, and when there's the team's responsibility ahead of you, you start thinking a little bit more clearer. And like I said, having spent 20-25 balls in the middle, I started to feel a little bit more confident. And yeah, really happy that I could get that partnership with Krunal, and we managed to get the team past 300.
Okay. Vishesh Roy, and then Venkat Krishna.
Hi, KL. You
Hello.
have always come back strongly whenever you have seen a minor blip in form. So, were you confident of turning the tables in the ODI series? And would you say that the 50 over format is an easier format to find form as compared to the T20s?
Yes, I was confident. I've always, for a player to come this far, it's only his self belief that gets him so far. So I've always been confident in who I am as a player, who I am as a person. So It was never an issue of confidence. It was never an issue of self-belief. Like I said, you sometimes it's sport. You try everything you can. You do everything that is possible and in your control, and it still doesn't go your way. So you accept it, and you try and learn from the mistakes you've done, or try and learn from the hard days, and get back stronger. So yeah, I was always confident. I mean, if I knew that in the nets and at training and at practice sessions I was batting well. If there was a real issue with my batting, then I would have probably been a little underconfident. But yes, scoring runs is important and it is everything for a player. But for me, I also look at myself at training, and if I'm preparing well, if I'm hitting the ball well, if my mind is in the right place. So most of the things were right. The only thing that wasn't working or going well for me was the numbers chart. Me getting runs, which is disappointing at the top of the order. You're like when I open the batting, the team looks up to the openers to give them a solid start and get runs. So was a little disappointing, but it never affected my confidence or belief in myself.
Kale, there's been talk about change of approach in the T20s and even in the ODIs, how to start scoring from the middle order, in the middle overs as well. As a batting group, how do you, what are you guys are going about it? Are you practicing anything specific in terms of shot selection and stuff, and how to play freedom with more freedom?
Um, Look, freedom also, I mean, comes with playing a lot more games, lot more um, winning a lot more games together, and matches like these, where we were 200 for five, and just the last 10 overs, nobody thought we could from that position get to 300, 315, and then those extra 40, 50 runs that Krunal and me got in the end ended up being very crucial and ended up making the difference. So when we play more games like that, you as players, we as a team realize that there's that we have the potential to do that even if our top order doesn't fire. So I think the more the talk obviously is about getting playing with a lot more freedom, getting more runs. And when you say play with a lot more freedom, you end up scoring 350, 360 runs in a 50 over game, that and then people will say yes, the team is playing with a lot of freedom. And for us it's about how we figure um, in every situation how we can get the team past 300 or 350 runs, whatever is good on that particular wicket on that particular day. And the more regularly we do that, the more confidence we'll get as a batting group, and more confidence we will have as a team.
Bharat Ramaraj from Crickbus and then Amol Karadkar from the Hindu Sports Staff. Yeah, Bharat. Amol, you can go.
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is Bharat from Crickbus. How do you look at Prasidh Krishna's performance in terms of what are his key strengths? You have played with him for so long with at Karnataka. You might have played against him at net. So, how do you look at Prasidh Krishna as a bowler, his key strengths?
Look, quite honestly, I'm not surprised with what he did yesterday. I was always very confident that the next player that's going to come out of Karnataka is going to be Prasidh. I watched, we, I mean, we weren't of the same batch, but I watched him play a lot of junior cricket, and watching him in the nets, he was somebody who'd catch your eye. Tall guy, bowls quick, gets a lot of bounce from the wicket, and something. Having played with him in the last couple of seasons in for Mustaq Ali and Vijay Hazare, I realized that he's a brave boy. He has a great sense of the game. It's not just his skill, but how he understands the game and how he reads the game. He's a very keen learner. He's like I said, very brave and comes in with a lot of aggression. Even if you saw the last game, he wasn't shy to have a word or two with the batsman, and he enjoys being in a contest, and that's something that I loved about him. And I'm so happy to see that he's carrying on the same thing, and he wasn't overwhelmed by the place he is in, playing his first game for the country. I'm sure there will be a lot of nerves, but the way he came back after the first 3 overs, got those crucial wickets. So these are the qualities that um, define a player, and as a team, I think a lot of us are very, very impressed with what he's done, and hopefully he can carry on, keep getting better at his skill, and keep understanding the game better. And if he works harder, he'll be a great asset for Indian cricket.
We'll take a couple more now. Amol,
Hi Rahul. You spoke about not getting a game for like 3 months. Considering that you all don't have much to do off the field during these 3 months, uh, despite the team doing so well, how difficult was it to cope with the fact that there was no game time? How did you handle all that situation? And Molin, if